I'm 20. Just these last couple months, I've lost millions of fucking dollars. Like,
With my boy Dan, hey man, this motherfucker ran up 2 7-figure businesses. So we're gonna get down on some topics. We got some shit.
time is the most valuable shit ever. Like, money comes and goes. The second that we're having right now, yesterday, that shit's gone. We won't be able to do this shit again. That fucking cigar, you can't re-smoke that shit. You can get money and buy that fucking cigar again. You know what I mean? I think money is one thing, but you always need to value time over it. Just always put time first. Make sure that your money makes you money and you're not putting your time in to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're getting lessons from that shit too.
Yeah, exactly. What I always learned is just set up a system type shit. So in a business, in anything, you always try to make sure run without you. Because if you are part of that business, then you have like an active hand in it, you know what I mean? Then you are still an employee in your own business. You're still a part of your own business. That shit isn't self-sufficient. If you can make that shit run while you're asleep, you can make that shit make you money while you're goddamn fucking a bitch or on fucking vacation.
Yeah, you the motherfucking business.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it's at. Because now you don't gotta work. Now you don't gotta do shit. Now other people are trading their time for money, and you're sitting there trading your money for more money. You know what I mean? I got this fat ass blunt. Goddamn.
When you woke up, were you focusing on money?
Honestly, that's the thing is, I think you gotta always put bitches last. You don't think about bitches. You're not like, I'm gonna get bitches. I'm gonna get bitches. I'm gonna get bitches. You don't go out to like a party, and you're, alright, I'm gonna find these bitches. You step out. You wake up in the morning. You're, alright, I'm gonna get this fucking money. You keep your eye on that fucking money. You keep your eye on their goal. Everything comes along with it. You keep your eye on success, on your fucking, on genuinely what's driving you, on your money, on your fucking everything. The bitches will come. The money will come. The cars will come. All that shit comes with it. But really just focusing on just what needs to be done that day, you know what I mean? And like just even the night before, just telling yourself, I need to do this and this and this tomorrow. And really at some point sitting down and just making a goddamn list of like, alright, so I need to do these goddamn many things so that over the span of 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even 2 years, fucking, or just like months to years, be like, alright, these are my goals, this is where I want to be. In 2 years, I want to, have a 7-figure company. I want to be a millionaire. So you're, alright, so that means, tomorrow, I need to start getting clientele. Tomorrow I need to start, going around the neighborhood being like, yo, I'm starting my own detailing company, I'm doing garage cleaning, I'm doing fucking this, I'm doing that, I'm doing whatever the fuck you're doing. And then, maybe that's a day-by-day thing, by 1 month, you need to have a certain amount of customers, type shit. So it's always just setting a goal and making sure you make it to that goal and just constantly pushing it so you keep going. And you can't set it super fucking high, super far, because then you're gonna be working towards that goal and you're just gonna feel stuck. You're gonna be, alright, I've been working for months and I haven't moved anywhere. But if you're, alright, now I want, 100 customers by the end of this month, fucking 20 customers by the end of the week, whatever, just keep growing, and you can keep hitting like reasonable marks, then it just, the impossible feels possible. Small steps is what gets you up the mountain. You can't just climb up the mountain in one step, you know what I mean?
Most of the time, I don't feel like training. I don't feel like sitting down, reading the book, writing some shit. How did you feel when you ran it out?
Bro, at some point you don't want to do any of that. I'm not gonna lie. I got this money, I can chill, I don't gotta do any of that. That doesn't lead you anywhere but where you were before you started doing all that shit, you know what I mean? Because right now, with you, journaling, you writing down your goals, you writing down what you need to do, that brings you to a whole different fucking point than smoking weed and fucking beating your goddamn meat and fucking texting these ugly ass hoes, you know what I mean? All that shit brought you to where you didn't want to be, to a point where you were like, I need to change shit up. I need to make shit different. I had, multi-million-dollar businesses, and over time, I fucked some of that shit up. Like, I've lost millions of dollars at this point, just because I started drinking too much, I started partying too much, I was like, I don't want to do some blow. Got fucked up on blow, I started fucking with these bitches, and someone had like fucking 6, 7 bitches, and I was just fucking with them all, and it was smooth, but what was I really doing? Because I was just wasting my time. I wasn't fucking training. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't really fucking focusing on my goals anymore. And the less you focus on your goals, the further you get away from them. And you really dig yourself into a hole that can sometimes be so hard to take yourself out of. Then once you fall back into those habits and you're not exercising anymore, you're not fucking doing all the shit that you need to do, you don't want to do it anymore because you're so far behind. You're like, all right, bro, like I'm so far behind, I don't even want to start this shit again. So you really just got to keep that motivation on. And I'm not gonna lie, it does take a few falls. Like one of my favorite sayings is, you can't be a millionaire without, or you can't spell millionaire without a few L's. So like you really do have to take a couple L's. You probably got to fall a couple times, fucking bust your shit, really hit rock bottom to really be like, alright, I need to step my shit up. Learning from their mistakes is probably one of the biggest things that you can do, especially at a young age.
What do you think about motivation and drive? Like waking up and you motivate yourself. Like you don't feel like doing it. Like what's like your view on that?
Honestly, bro, I think one of the things is money is my biggest motivator. And even when I have a lot of money, sometimes I won't have any motivation, but that drive to just fucking do more, you know what I mean? Just reach for fucking more, reach for the next goddamn thing is always there. Like, I don't even have motivation for it sometimes, but more than anything, you just gotta have that drive. If you really look up the statistics, there is a huge percentage of the population who they don't even have conscious thoughts. Like, if they are thinking a word in their head, they need to say it out loud to actually say it. Or, if you're thinking to yourself, you're like, oh shit, I need to go to the grocery store, I need to get this, I need to go work out afterwards, whatever. People can't even do that. They have to imagine themselves doing it to plan it. They can't even just think thoughts and get into concepts and shit like that. So it's just, you need to be able to have that drive, have that inner fucking voice to tell yourself what the fuck is up and actually use it for its purpose. Because if you're just kind of blowing shit off, you're wasting the potential. You know what I mean? You gotta keep that drive going. You gotta fucking try and keep that motivation up. But if it's down, you gotta keep going. Ain't nothing stopping you.
So speaking about weak people. So weak men, they can't get females, and they jerk, or they don't even try, So they just hide up somewhere and they jerk off, Would you tell them to try and get some bitches to bring up their motivation or get that money?
Honestly, bro, I'd say look at any of the billionaires that you can find nowadays. You can find Elon Musk, you can find goddamn Bill Gates. What you gotta do is put that focus down. You gotta put that focus down, focus on what you're doing. The bitches will come. You gotta be fine. You don't gotta be tall, you don't gotta be big, you don't gotta be nothing, bro. Once you get the money, shit comes to you. Women, it's not even about gold diggers this, gold diggers that, you know what I mean? Women are programmed to look for stability. Nowadays, stability is just by money. If you got money, you can provide stable life. You can give her a home, you can give her fucking food, you can give her fucking a car, you can just give her a good life. You know what I mean? You can buy her the shit that you want to buy her. You can bring her the places that you want to bring her. And that's just giving her stability. If you can just focus on your work, you can just have a real work ethic and just be a real ass nigga, these bitches will go for it. You don't gotta be the best looking. There's so many fucking ugly ass rich niggas out there who are doing great just because they're fucking rich.
Work on your mind. You do meditate and train.
Yeah, I think just meditating and being mindful, and I've been taking some psychedelics recently just to stay mindful, and that's just one of my ways to help me. And not taking psychedelics oh my god, I'm tripping my balls off type shit. No, microdosing, so I'm sitting there and I can sit with my own thoughts and not feel the need to escape them. Sit out here and just be like, damn, look at these stars out, bro.
Just feel like a creator.
Yeah, exactly. Just feel the fucking air coming out of you. Be like, damn, I'm really alive right now. I can feel this shit. Just really, really being in the moment and just appreciating what's going on around you, and just using that time to appreciate what's around me and then focus on what I need to do. Really need to do. Not what I want to do, this food would be good. No, fuck food, fuck anything pleasure. What do I need to do to have consistent pleasure? You know what I mean? To consistently be okay with what's going on. Because there's a lot of times where I'll be chilling, especially in my past, where I'd be like, nah, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with what's going on right now. I'm not okay with fucking life. This shit ain't sweet, this shit ain't cool. the only way that it's going to change is by you doing something.
Being honest.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's going to step into your life and change it for you. You know, there's so many niggas out there waiting for that person to come into their life to give them that fucking chance. And maybe if somebody did come into their life and give them that chance, they would do insane. You know, maybe they'd pick up that fucking goddamn bag and they'd run with it. They would make insane amount of money. They would do all the shit that they've ever dreamed of. So fuck that. Do it yourself. If you really have the fucking motivation, you have the power in yourself to do it, fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you know you're driving in your fast ass whip. You skirting 170, 150. Like, are you bumping tunes or are you learning? Or just like even like a chill ride, like you vibing or you learning?
You know, bro, for a while I was listening to audiobooks and shit. So like motherfucking, I don't know, a lot of self-help books. Fucking, I love Mark Manson. He really helped me turn my life around. And for like probably when I was 18, 19, I was like, damn, this shit fucking sucks. And I was making good money, but I'm like, I don't know how to be happy right now. Like, I got the money down, but like I don't know how to be happy. I don't know how to have the right mindset. That shit really turned that around for me. And 48 Laws of Power, I mentioned that to you before. That shit, a lot of people talk down on it because it's manipulative in a way. But if you really think about it, everything is manipulative. You know, when you go online and you see an advertisement, that's Google. They've collected all your information and they're manipulating you and all the information that they have stored by you just to sell you something, you know what I mean? All of these big companies, all of these big businesses, they manipulate. And that doesn't mean manipulate, you know, all your like family. That doesn't mean manipulate your friends and, you know, your fucking loved ones, like your fucking significant other and shit. No, that means like you're in a financial situation, you know, you're in a business meeting, you're making a deal with somebody. You can manipulate them into thinking that they're getting the best deal that they can get, and they'll be happy. End of the day, they will die a happy person.
They don't even know.
And yeah, you will be coming up on top of that. You know what I mean? You can really just give yourself the best out of every situation with making it look like either you're the underdog or, you know, y'all are equal type shit. And you can always get what you want out of some bullshit. So that's what's up. I really fuck with that book. I really recommend it to anybody. Recently, I've been fucking with just some Beethoven, just some classical music going on. I'll be whipping fucking like 200, just chilling, just in my mind, thinking about what I'm gonna do next, where my next money moves are, what I need to do and shit.
Always thinking like your next move, your backup move.
Yeah, exactly,
like,
exactly.
You always gotta be thinking like steps ahead.
No, 100%. It's like, you know, I hate to say life is a game because people really play it like it's a fucking goddamn Angry Birds. No, like, life is a game that is so intense, so real, that it is fucking real. Like, it is the deepest and most intricate game you will ever play, but it's a fucking game. If you learn all the fucking tricks you need to learn, if you grow with everything that's happening around you, you adapt to your environment, you will do insane shit. Like, it is a game, you just need to learn how to play it, you know what I mean? Just like it's a game, it's like chess, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, you know, somebody moves one of their pieces, you gotta be like, you know, they can move their piece into this spot or this spot. You know, if they move it into one of those two spots, you know, I need to make sure that both of those are defended. So if they move it right there, I can kill them. Or, you know, if they move it into this spot, what are they trying to move after that? You know, you've always got to be thinking about the next thing. And, like, that's how I think about everything in my life, from fucking bitches and, you know, how they're talking to me to fucking driving. And, like, you know, I'll be driving fast as fuck. I'll see, you know, somebody merging over, like, lanes. They'll be crossing the entire, like, freeway. And I'll be like, you know, they're crossing all the way over. It doesn't look like they're going to go in the fast lane, so I'm not going to expect that they are. But at the same time, worst case scenario, they go in the fast lane. And, you know, I need to make sure that there's, you know, this car between the second and first lane. They're making some space that's going to be enough space for me to slide through once I, you know, come to speed. So if that guy crosses in front of me, I can jump right there. Or, you know, he's not about to go from the right lane all the way to the left lane and then hop in the shoulder. So if I need to, I can cut off my lights so he doesn't see me coming up, and I can just hop in the shoulder if there's enough space right there. You know what I mean? Always thinking ahead, and, like, you got to do that with everything, from money to relationships to fucking everything, anything you're doing.
So you think that's like an instinct you could program into yourself?
Yeah, I think with a lot of people it could be somewhat natural, which is why some people are just naturally, like, good at, you know, fucking chess and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I think it really is something you can teach yourself too. Even just playing chess, you know, for a while, you know, playing against people, and just really thinking about things too. Really stopping before you do some bullshit, and really thinking through what the consequences are, and then what the best consequences you could have. Because sometimes there is no good options, but the bad options, you know, there's one bad option where you can't do shit with it, you're just left with the bad option. There's bad options where you're left with a bad option, but, you know, you can still fuck with it, you can still work with it, you can still manipulate that to your best of abilities, and you'll get something good out of it. You know what I mean? So, straight came over. My dad was illegal as fuck for a minute, I'm not gonna lie. Which I think is one of the main reasons that I had such a drive to really make it, because he was like, you know, I came to this country, you know, I left everything I had in Mexico, I left all my family, he had some businesses out there and shit, he's like, I left all that shit because it just got so dangerous, you know, I had to bring you over here, and I want to give my kids a better life, I want them to do better than I did. And I knew he did really goddamn good, so I was like, alright, you know, I need to match up with him. And, you know, if you have a bunch of siblings and shit like that, it's like, alright, you know, maybe one of them can pick up the fucking torch and, you know, bring it on, and, like, you know, you can chill.
Like growing up, like you went to like church and bullshit, or what kind of like religion?
Yeah, I went to church. My parents, they're hard Christians, you know, they're actually both pastors, fucking Christian pastors. Don't even ask me the denomination, there's too many goddamn Christian denominations at this point. I don't even know that shit. But yeah, honestly, there was a point in my life where, like, I was probably 16, 17, and I was just really angry about everything. And I was like, you know, fuck God, God isn't real, this shit isn't real, all this is bullshit. And I just wanted to prove them that God wasn't fucking real. And so I read the entire Bible, I read the Catholic Bible, I read the fucking Quran, I read the Torah, I read like Buddhist fucking scriptures, I read fucking into Taoism and Stoicism and just like all these other like different religions and just types of fucking like studies. And they're all pretty fucking like, they're all really goddamn similar. And I mean, one of the things is that Jesus is in like all of the goddamn books, like all of them. And so it's like, you know Jesus is real, you know that shit fucking happened, like it happened in all of the goddamn even like history books, if you really research it, like it happened. Fucking one of the things is with religion is that sometimes, not even sometimes, it's kind of like people put their own play on it to make their own money off of it. Don't quote me on this, but there is like, I think there was like 60 something books in the total in the Bible. There was like 60 to 70 books in the Bible. Like for the Christian Bible, I think they cut it down to like 40 something or like 30 something. And then with
a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, they cut out like an insane amount of the books because they're like, oh, they just don't match what we want it to teach, you know what I mean? And then with the Catholic Bible, they cut out even more, which I think they cut out like the New Testament because they don't believe that Jesus died for your sins. So you're like, that he died, but like you're still supposed to like repent and like, you know, you're still supposed to pray to like the goddesses, or not goddesses, like Mary and the saints and shit like that. And in the New Testament, they were like, you know, now that Jesus died for you, you don't pray to saints, you just pray to Jesus himself and shit like that. And like the Catholic Church, they pretty much tell you need to pay money to be forgiven, pretty much. You need to like go to church and like, you know, pay money to the church and like, you know, give donations or whatever, and that's how you like get forgiven. And they like guilt trip you by a whole bunch of bullshit. And so like the Catholic Church, it is one of the richest, it's like the Vatican, I believe. It's one of the richest fucking countries. Or I don't want to say countries. It's like one of the richest establishments, pretty much, because it's like the span of a couple city blocks, and it has more money than almost any fucking government. Like there's definitely governments that have more money, but like it is one of the most powerful. Like it has an insane amount of money, because if you look at any single Catholic church around the United States, around the world, they all send money back to the Vatican. So the Vatican is just fucking raking in all this money. So like they're kind of just using the word of God and like using spirituality to get all these people just to, you know, cough up all this money. And I think Christianity does it better, but they still got it funky as fuck. Like they're still on some bullshit about it.
So like what are you into now? Are you like, you over that shit, or
no, you know,
you in that bitch?
I definitely do think, you know, religion is real. Like God is real. There's definitely a higher power, you know, like if you look around you, this shit wasn't on accident. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we're a bunch of fucking hairless monkeys on this goddamn planet, but like, if you want to believe that, fucking believe that. Be like an asshole about it all. But, you know, before I did this and researched Buddhism, and like enlightenment and all that, I took DMT, which is like this insane fucking psychedelic, and it was insane. I remember taking it, and I had the most like insane breakthrough of just interconnectedness. How we are all one mind. We are all one experience, experiencing everything at once. Like all timelines, all time, all of space, all of everything, everywhere that we are is all connected. From the people on the goddamn space stations to the people living on the fucking streets homeless. You know, it was like as a human mind, like we were all connected, and like we're all one. And like not even just humans, but like that too. We're like everything around you. Like we are completely made up of our surroundings. You know what I mean? Like if you think about it, everything you've ever eaten is you. Like you didn't just grow yourself. You know what I mean? Everything that you've been eating, everything that you process is what makes your fucking cells, is what makes your body. And when you die and you know you decompose, naturally you would just go back into the earth. You know, even if you don't naturally go back into the earth right now, hundreds of thousands of years from now, you know, the graveyards that you get buried in, you know, you'll rot away. And you'll just go back into the earth, you'll get rebuilt into whatever the fuck, you'll turn into dirt, you'll rot, you'll just turn into something else. And then the world will recreate you into whatever other being, whatever other shit that is gonna be, you know? And maybe you turn into fucking grass someday, a rabbit eats that, now you're fucking part of a rabbit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny, because I was talking about that with my brother. Like if you don't have like a certain amount of light in you, then you like transform into something like lower.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, you might like turn into a tree or like a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're getting fucking slaughtered.
Yeah.
And then you turn into like an insect, and then some material bullshit.
Yeah.
Because like everything's energy.
No, exactly.
Energy just transfers. Like,
yeah, and I still want to learn more about Buddhism. I'm not fully into that yet. Like I'm still trying to get into all that. But that's one of the concepts about like Buddhism, and it's that you need to like, people say enlightenment is like the end goal, and it isn't even enlightenment. Enlightenment is like permanent mindfulness, and once you have permanent mindfulness, you grow that and you focus on what really you need to focus on, and you just pretty much just grow your energy as a person. You really just like grow your mind, you grow your depth, you really like understand the world and yourself and like your thoughts as one. And at some point you can reach a point where you have so much energy in you that when you die, you don't exactly stay the same, but you are you stay you. And so you pass on to the next world, and it's not even the next world, you pass on to like the next type of reality, the next type of able to process information, and you can process everything as one. Like you are an all-seeing being. You can view every single experience, you can view every single person, you can view every single everything throughout all of time, throughout all of the world, all at once. You know, separately, you can really do everything. Like you can experience everything, but you need to get to that point first. You know what I mean? Breakthrough is like you pretty much go numb and your mind detaches from your body, and you can experience things that your body can't. Like, you know, right now we're limited to feeling what we can feel with our fucking nerves, see what we can see with our eyes, and hear what we can hear with our ears. But you know, dogs, you know, they can hear an insane amount more than we can, and smell so much more than we can. And you know, bats can see in the night. There's fucking mantis shrimp who can see like fucking, it's like 18 different colors on the spectrum, and we can only see like 4. You know what I mean? So there's so many colors and so many sensations. Like fucking platypuses, they can sense electromagnetic fields and shit like that. Like they can sense everything. And we don't have the ability to sense that, but our brain does. Our brain is so much bigger than all those animals, you know, combined. We have more than enough capability to experience those things, but our body doesn't allow it. And so when you take DMT, you disconnect from your body, and your body is allowed to experience those things. It's allowed to, you know, really understand things that normally you physically couldn't understand. And so I understood like everything on a deeper level. And the second time I took it, I was like, oh shit, okay, I get this more. And I wrote down some of my thoughts, just jotted it down, and I like somewhat forgot it. Like I just didn't really remember it that much anymore. And I remember I was reading this teaching about Buddhism, and it was about being enlightened, and, you know, like the final state and like the interconnectedness of everything. And I was reading, and I'm like, why does this feel like deja vu? And by the time I got to the end of it, I'm like, oh my god, I experienced like almost this exactly on DMT. And when you think about it, like a lot of cultures, they had that same type of deep down sense that everything is connected, that you need to be connected with everything. And fucking like they use DMT in ceremonies and shit like that. And now when you take DMT, if you smoke it or whatever, it only lasts in your system for like 5-6 minutes and it goes away. When they used to take it, like back then, like hundreds of years ago, and even still now to this day, there's, you know, fucking tribes out in, you know, South America and Africa that still take it. Another realm for 8-9 hours. They're really like just walking through another world and experiencing shit like in a deeper level. And when you think about it, like that's, if you really get into it, you realize that that's kind of what it's all about. Like religion is real, you know. There's an interconnectedness of being in a group like that that really makes a difference. But everything nowadays is trying to make you not do it. You know.
So you think that's just like a human concept, or you think like God like spoke to them? Or you think it was just their thoughts?
You know, I think it's like, if there is a God, you know, I'm not super sold on any one topic yet. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's one that I've been able to relate most closely with. But you know,
which one is that?
Just Buddhism and like being interconnected. But you know, fucking God forgive me if you are real and I say this, but I would believe that we are all as humans connected, and as a single mind, all of our minds connected is our God. Like we are kind of everything, and it's not even us exactly, it's everything connected all at once. Everything at once is just unity. It's perfect. Like everything is supposed to be perfect, and we're getting poisoned like just daily without even realizing it by things that fuck with that. Like it's, you know, fluoride. You know what that is? Fluoride, it's like they you know, they used to put it in the concentration camps with the Jews, and it would make them more docile, and it would like close their third eye. Like it wouldn't allow them to be able to like connect with each other in like in deep ways. And so Europe banned it. Like almost every single country in Europe has it banned because it's so bad. America still pumps that shit full into their water. Like they pump it in, like, and they say it's like a safe amount, but it's not. Like it's a terrible amount, and they have no way of controlling it. So people out here, we're drinking it if you drink tap water, and even if you don't drink tap water, which a lot of people don't, because it's fucking terrible for you. Every time you take a shower, you take a hot shower, you know, your pores open up, your body just soaks that fucking in, and like soaks it in faster than drinking it even would, because now you're soaking it in through your skin and you're breathing it. Like, what hits you faster, an edible or fucking, you know, smoking a goddamn like joint? You know what I mean? Like, it's all going directly into your bloodstream. It's really affecting you deep down. And so I think one of the things is that they're just trying to disconnect us from being interconnected, because that's really what gives you a peace and like just a place, and like you don't feel the need to go out and like do extra shit. But doing extra shit is what makes them money, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep with like the matrix and all that shit, but
I mean, it's just business, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta keep people wanting to make them do shit.
yeah, so like going back a little bit, like I read somewhere like we only see like 1% of the 100%. So like there could be shit like around us that we don't even see right now.
100%.
Like on some bad shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many like just fucking signals and fucking just so much shit around us that we don't even understand. And like, you know astral projection, you know what that is? Like where you're able to leave your body. That's a real thing. Like, and people say it's a real thing, and then they don't actually know anything about what's behind it or anything like that. but fucking, if you look up astral projection, CIA did a bunch of fucking like research on it, and I think it was like the 1940s through 1960s or 70s, and it was not until like a couple of years ago they released all the information about it, and like they released how to actually astral project and like spirituality and everything. And if you just understand the fact that you can astrally project, you can come out of your body and like experience things that your body couldn't, then you're like, oh shit, like things aren't as it seems. You know, things are a lot deeper than we think. And you know, psychedelics, they were all banned at that exact same time. You know, they were all legal before that, but once they started studying astral projection, they started studying all that bullshit. They're like, alright, get this shit all illegal. And it wasn't until like less than a decade ago they started bringing it back for like research and like, you know, shit like that.
So I also read another thing, like apparently there's like 13 families that have 99% of the money.
Yeah.
And us peasants only have that 1%.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like they're just pumping this money. So like what the fuck do they need money for? So like what do they want? What comes after money?
Well, money comes with power, you know?
Yeah, when you just tossing that shit to the side, what comes next for you?
These families that do that, like they even do this thing where they marry into their own families. Like the Rothschilds, they marry off their daughters and their sons with each other. It's like it started off with like 5 brothers, and they all married off their like sons and daughters and everything, so that they never let any insiders into their area and into their fucking money. So they keep their shit tight knitted. They keep it family secret. Nothing gets in between that. And like, yeah, they really do control everything. Like the Rothschilds, they started the Federal Reserve, and like if you think about the Federal Reserve, you think, you know, it's government owned. You know, all what's backing their money. It's not. It's all privately owned.
Yeah, everything is owned from that.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Like they really run everything, and you know, it's, yeah, there's a bunch of conspiracies about it. Like if you were to look up like Titanic, Rothschilds, and Federal Reserve, you'd see like it was almost 100% fact that the Rothschilds sank the Titanic, and they sank it just to kill their competition, because they invited their competition onto the boat. And then the second they were about to leave, the Rothschilds got the fuck off with all of the families that wanted to create the Federal Reserve, and all the families that were against the Federal Reserve stayed on the boat. They all died. And it was the next year that elections were able to go on for the Federal Reserve again. They did it. They got away with it.
That's
So,
mad.
yeah, they own everything.
So like I've been like spiritual for a while, just like into like that meditation, so I can improve myself, like that type of shit. Then I came to realize like that's just like another bullshit concept, and that everything in this world is just a human idea. Like it's not God's idea because you heard a voice in you. That's just a fucking thought.
For real.
So like, yeah, so like I was spiritual. I made videos, and I realized like I'm more than spiritual. Like I'm God. I'm everything. When did you realize? So like when you took DMT, was that like your realization, or through religion?
You know, I think it was through both. I think if I read all the texts that I had read, and I hadn't tried DMT before, I wouldn't have like matched the two of them together. But I think really experiencing it firsthand and being interconnected, that we are bigger than one, we are all unified deep down, and experiencing that, and then actually reading about it after the fact, reading about that, the whole idea of that and what it really meant, and then being able to connect the two together and being like, wow, I experienced that before I even knew that it was a thing, you know, before I even knew about it. So it was like, it was just like kind of an eye-opener at that point, of like that. Yeah, I don't know, it's just everything is connected, and at the end of the day, it's just what makes you happy, you know what I mean? Like, not even what makes you happy, but what makes you content. Like, being content doesn't mean that you aren't working for more, it just means that you're okay with what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're okay with where you're going in life at that moment. You know, you're good with your schedule that you set for yourself, you know, you're good with what you're doing in life and what your goals are, who you're around, and that's pretty much all you need. Like, you just need to be happy with your life, and like being happy with your life. Some people, you know, not everybody is a leader. Not everybody is going to be a millionaire. Like, if everybody was fucking rich, you know, there wouldn't be rich anymore. Everybody would just be fucking equal. And so to have rich, you have to have poor. But like, you can be happy and be poor. You know what I mean? So it's just following what really makes you happy. Like, if fucking just teaching school and just being with, you know, your kids and your wife and just making minimum wage, if that's like what is really keeping you going and you're okay with that, like, you're okay with that. But like, a lot of people, they seek more and they need more, and you need more to be happy. And if that's you just gotta go for it. You know what I mean? And like, you gotta make sure you keep meditating, you stay mindful of what you really want, like deep down. Not like sex, not like fucking you want some fucking temporary bullshit. Like, what's long lasting, what's really gonna make everything good.
So like happiness is a mindset. Like, it has nothing to do like with what you have.
Exactly.
So like what's like the difference of like happiness and enlightenment?
You know, I think they come with each other. But I think you could be happy, and I don't like the word happy, because I feel like a lot of people think happy and they're like, you know, they bought a new car, they're happy. You know, they fucked a new bitch, they're happy. But like, you gotta find joy. Yeah, and just out of the simple things in life, you know? Like, just genuinely be able to sit with yourself and being like, damn, you know, I feel good about my body right now. You know, I ate some good food today, you know, I feel good about the food I ate. You know, I feel good right now, you know? But like, you know, you're taking a shit, you're like, this is a good shit. Like, this is a good shit. Like, you know, everything. Like, you step outside, you're in the sun, you know, you're not like, oh, it's hot out, you know, you're like, damn, you know, I'm glad I get to be outside today. Today's a little warm, but let's get shit moving. You know what I mean? Just like, I feel like that is part of enlightenment. And enlightenment isn't the end goal. It's just the mindset that you want to be in. And it's just not taking anything too seriously, but enjoying what life has to give, and not suffering, because we weren't put on this planet just to suffer. You know what I mean? We weren't born just to fucking hate everything going on. Don't do it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're the one who controls your own mind. You control your own mindset. You control what's going on around you. If you want to change what's going on around you, you can do it. You just gotta fucking do it. God damn.
So I tried to question my mom, but it's gone, so I'm gonna just let it live.
For real.
Alright, so you saying like you shouldn't suffer. So I feel like like every day I wake up and I'm not happy. Like, every day I wake up and I'm like today's gonna be fucking ass. Like, today I'm gonna fucking suffer. And like by the end of the day, that's like when I start feeling a little bit of joy, just like through everything I accomplish. But then like at night, like when I lay in bed, you know, I feel that, but then I tell myself, motherfucker, tomorrow gonna be ass again. You know, it's just like a cycle of a cycle of suffering.
Yeah, no, I used to be like that too when I first started my companies. It was like I had to make myself feel like shit so that I would convince myself that if I tried really hard that day, if I did everything I needed to do, I'd feel better. You know what I mean? And then once I do everything, I'd be, alright, now I feel like shit again, because now I need so much more shit that I need to do. And I got all this shit to work on. I'm not where I want to be. But it's like, it's a balance. Life is just a balance of just money, emotions, like just everything you can imagine. It's just a balance of it. You know, like you can, like personally, I can't be smoking weed and drinking. I'm just too much of an addict like that. But some people, you know, they can have a limit on that. You know what I mean? They you know, smoke a joint at the end of the day. They can be chill. That'll be it. You know, smoke once every weekend when they just want to like lay back and some bullshit like that. Shit like that's smooth, but like it's just a balance. And my best advice is just reframe it. You know what I mean? Like when you wake up in the morning, I gotta wake up today. There's a lot of people who died in their sleep. There's a lot of people who they died in a car crash earlier that day. You know what I mean? So like, you just be happy about that you are here. You're in a good spot. You got food to eat. You got goals to accomplish, and that you're making your way towards those goals. And you don't use it as like all right, I'm okay. Like everything's good. I don't need to do anything. It's all right, everything's good. Let me get to work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad I get to work out today because, tomorrow I could get in a car crash and be fucking paralyzed from the legs down and fuck it. Like, I'm gonna be some scrawny ass legs, but I'll do a big upper body. You know what I mean? Something like.
And it was literally better than the first move I made.
100%. No, exactly, 100%. And that's the thing is that you can never be like, fuck this shit and it happened. Like, I've just these last couple months, I've lost millions of fucking dollars. Like, I think I've been like 2.2 mil in the past like 7-8 months. And, I can be like, fuck, that was all bullshit, that shouldn't have happened, blah, 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 blah. But now it's like, I'm 20. I use all as learning, like I made mistakes that made for that all to happen, that you don't just accidentally lose 2.2 mil. That shit doesn't happen. You don't, shit just doesn't happen on accident. You gotta learn from your mistakes